Okay, in the last video, I kind of ran out of time, but I was discussing the fact of the primary visual cortex and visual association area. The primary visual cortex, as we said, would actually see what you're looking at, I guess you could say, because that's where the optic tract would have synapsed on the lateral genicular nucleus and gone to the optic radiations back here. Then the visual association area would determine color and shape and things of this nature, association with that. And then I was mentioning at the time that if you saw a car, you would see it you would actually see the structure in the primary visual cortex, but its shape and other factors is red, intense red, would be in the visual association area. But vision is a complex sense, and many things are projected to other areas within the brain. So what we have in the brain, I also want to bring up something I brought up. Here would be a visual impulse, but we also have something called the reticular activating system, which kind of keeps the alertness within the brain as far as to see things and recognize that you see things and stay awake to see things. And not only does it work with visual, it works with auditory also, and even other sensory aspects of touch and so forth. Okay. Then we have what we call the multimodal association areas. The pure motor or pure sensory cortexes and their subdivisions are concerned only with one sensory modality. But how do we get multiple inputs together to get a meaning? By sending the message to the multimodal association area, which consists of the prefrontal cortex, anterior association area, posterior association, and limbic. The limbic system is your pain and pleasure system and also deals with memory. The prefrontal cortex, anterior association area, located in the anterior portion of the front lobe, is involved with intellect, cognition, recall, personality. Okay? Signals would go there too. Think about cognition, intellect. I saw a car. How did I know it was a car? It had to have been stored somewhere in my memory and be understood within the frontal cortex. The posterior association takes up more of the temporal, occipital, and parietal cortex. It's for identification and interpretation, recognition of patterns and faces and other aspects. But still, even patterns and faces or even a car would still have to go to the, let's say, the frontal cortex area, because is it a Buick or is it a Cadillac? Still would have to. So vision involves many things. Then the limbic, pain and pleasure, emotional sense to what we have. So what we have when we talk about this multimodal situation, here would be an example. You drop a bottle of acid on a chemistry lab floor and it splashes on you. You see it, that's the visual cortex. You hear it, that's the auditory. You feel it, that would be the sensory cortex. But you need to put it all together to get a meaning out of it. Now, the primary visual cortex contains an accurate topographical map of the retina, with the left visual cortex receiving input from the right visual. Okay? But the visual interpretation and other things occur in other areas of the brain. So I just wanted to mention that vision is not just straightforward. It incorporates much of the brain in various areas to do various things